I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. I'm here with Salivate Metal for the Metals Experience Episode 5. Salivate, what's going on?
Hello, sir. How you doing? Everything is going well here. I hope you're doing well.
Man, I tell you what, yes, I'm doing well. The voice, though, when you throw your voice out like that, because I didn't hear you, and then all of a sudden, boom, Sal's voice comes out. I get a little heart palpitation there, a little.
Whoa!
Get the grabber.
I'm honored and humbled. Hopefully, it's not a bad heart palpitation, but yes, indeed. All right.
It's more like butterflies, if anything. You know what I mean? Anyway, so anybody who's watching right now, we've done a few of these episodes right now. This is episode 5, according to my calculations. And we just talk about precious metals, coins, two guys just talking about things going on. We may talk about each other's YouTube channel. Sal has a YouTube channel. You got to check it out. I'll put links down in the description of this video, of course, so you can just easily see his channel. I'm sure most of you already know about it, but he's got some really, really cool videos daily, and he does some really nice lives. Messes around with scam calls. We all know we don't like the scammers out there, so it's a lot of fun over there. And Sal, tell me what's going on in your world as of right now. Like, what's happening?
Well, for those of us, for people who watch our channel, some people may think, well, this is what we do, as much time as we spend on them. But, I've been actually pretty busy at my regular 40-hour-a-week job. And just with life, a lot of things going on personally, as far as, just normal, not bad things, like cleaning off solar panels, power washing the home, things like that, yard work. Other obligations, bans, and that type of thing. And so life is pretty busy, but nonetheless, we enjoy what we do, and the YouTube thing is it's fun. It can be challenging, but yeah, everything is going good. Just trying to think about purchases and also setbacks that I've had. The breaking news here. Little financial setback that will be coming up here, but nonetheless, that you have to roll with those kind of punches as well, and learn to budget. It's about budgeting and about prioritizing and being fiscally responsible. Something I think both of us certainly do promote on our channels, because when you buy precious metals, when you see a beautiful coin, whether it be something like this, a proof coin, or a bullion coin like this, you're like, wow, I'd like to have one of those. But sometimes you just have to say no at times, depending on your budget and your circumstances. The precious metals will be there. And so sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's appropriate to take a pause and take a step back, because each person is different. Their financial situation is different. And so that's something that I think both of us kind of talk about, about being fiscally responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of us, I mean, not just you and I, but anybody who's watching, anybody who's not watching, needs to really see what's going on out there right now and have a savings, have some money set aside, have some things set aside for emergencies. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, every time I fill up my gas tank, I cringe. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm just sitting there like shaking my head, like, how is this possible? I wonder how people, because, at one point, we all start out as, single people trying to go out there and grasp life, get jobs and maybe get a family going. How do single people start in this economy right now? It's crazy. You got to start as soon as you get any kind of job. You got to start putting something aside and just trying to be, like you said, fiscally responsible and really watching out for yourself.
It's very difficult, coming into the workforce, especially out of college, right when inflation hits. There are jobs out there, but you get the job in your career, in your field. And I know for me, it took me a couple of years to get a job in my career field, and it was disheartening. And and wages are going up, but they're not keeping up with inflation by any stretch. So it's tougher so I feel for a lot of people out there that are struggling, and some people that are young, I'm seeing more and more young people saying that they're starting to stack now. And that's encouraging to hear. But nonetheless, when you do that, it's always good to do research on the performance of precious metals and how they do long term, but more importantly, it's about diversification and fiscal responsibility. And yes, indeed, and that's exactly right. It's tough, and it's. I feel for people that have that are just getting out there and trying to make a way for themselves.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, here in Florida, the housing market has been absolutely going crazy. I'm seeing like almost no property with a trailer on it, mobile home for $100,000.
Wow.
And to me, that's just, it's shocking, especially like in 2009 or so when I bought my home and it was the price of what a mobile home is right now. I don't understand how it's going to keep going. I worry. I worry. And I worry for that, I
Bubble
shouldn't have.
that's going to burst, I feel. And when it does, already we're seeing some slowdown in construction, new construction, and lumber prices, from what I've heard, are starting to tank now. And so with interest rates going up, there's going to be less people buying. And I think what we're seeing now is probably the tightening of that bubble. And people are trying to get in as quickly as they can before interest rates really skyrocket. They already are dramatically increasing from last I heard. So it's insane. It's nuts.
Insane in the membrane. I think we had a record increase there the last time the Fed came out. So, hey,
Yeah.
let's just happens. Hey, what do you got on the table right there? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I'm trying to find some other stuff. So I got a couple of things here. Just I bought this. I'm going to probably do a video on this. This is one of those cases where I was at my little LCS, and I have yet to see a nice new eagle. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of this design. This is just an exceptionally nice eagle. So I paid the high premium. I paid $35 for it. But it has no milk spots, and it's evenly struck. And at least I don't see any milk spots on it here. Some could develop. I've had that happen before too, but I really kind of got it from my channel. I kind of just got it to show in videos, because most of the ones I have milk spots, and you see them in the channel. I try to legitimize them by calling them the milk spot privy, milk spot privy mark. But nonetheless, I just ignored a scammer call for you, Spegtacular.
Just now. Yeah, Sal is the king of dealing with spam calls. I tell you what. So, he actually, before we went live here, he had a spam call he was talking to, and I got to be a little bit of a part of that, which was interesting. But man, they're bombarding you, huh? They want their money. Yeah. The economy's bad. They need money.
Yeah, they need money, but they want to give away money, but they want to pay at high interest and the like. But yeah, crazy.
They want your life to be even worse because they scam you out of your hard-earned money, which has been, not worth as much lately, but they still want it nonetheless.
Exactly.
Now, we talked about the United States Mint a little bit before we went live here. What's going on with them? What's happening here soon? What can we expect?
Well, and I thought about doing a video on this, and I may still do it, but some people have broken some news about a report, I think, on coinnews.net. I think I saw 2 or 3 channels do a video on this about the United States Mint has been holding back information about where the silver eagles have been minted. In other words, they've been minted at these multiple mints since the inception of the program in 1986 for the silver eagles, likely gold eagles too. But and people are complaining about it, and they found this information, I guess, through a FOIA request. And so I may do a video on that because I have a different take on that. But I don't know, but that's something, but that is the news that came out of the mint. Like I said, I may save my complete thoughts for a video on that. But other than that, they are going to be releasing a U.S. Marine Corps 2.5 ounce medal coming up here soon. I don't have the exact date. I used to be kind of the guy to do U.S. Mint news, but I do it less and less these days because other channels have kind of taken that mantle. So I kind of leave it to them. So I'm becoming less and less interested in some of the Mint lately.
That's kind of my thing too. It's like I could sit there and talk about these Marine Corps medals, and no offense to the Marines out there, thank you all for your service in any branch of military for sure. But I'm not wowed by the stuff that's coming out. I'm not as intrigued anymore as I used to be. So my channel tends to be something that interests me when I show stuff off. And if I'm not into it, I'm not going to post a video on it. It's just, and I'm not there right now with United States Mint. I'm very disappointed
Right.
lately. Yeah.
And and it's amazing you say that, because I'm going to be doing a big, probably one of my biggest videos. It won't be the biggest in terms of views, but it'll be the biggest in terms of work going into it later this year, because of precisely what you're talking about. And it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while. It's a big decision on my part. It's one of those first world decisions, but nonetheless, it's a biggie. But yeah, you're right. And see, I saw the designs of this Marine Corps medal, and it's not bad. But I'm kind of with you on some of the designs for some of these pieces, and to the credit of, or to the discredit of even other mints, I'm finding some of the same things. Some of these designs are just not as inspiring as the Walking Liberty. And this is just a little half-ounce example here that I got recently, which, by the way, we could talk about that later too, about why would you buy fractional modern bullion. But we can talk about that if you want, but nonetheless, this design is timeless. And there's reasons for that, because there is a flow to this design. And the coin design or round design or what have you is something that is it's not just about one particular side or the other, because it's about the flow between the designs of both the obverse and reverse. People don't think about that, but it's very important to consider that the design on the obverse has got to complement the design on the reverse, or it should. And this one definitely does. You have a Walking Liberty on this side, and you have a walking or standing eagle on this side. It kind of complements each other. He is perched on a rock or on a hard surface on this side, and she is walking on a hard surface on this side. And the St. Gaudens double eagle as well I don't have one here handy, but the St. Gaudens double eagle is considered probably the most beautiful coin ever minted. And why is that? Because of I believe it's the flow of the design of the obverse and reverse. You have that sun, that sun rising, and the sun in the background on both sides of that coin. It's just amazing how St. Gaudens did that. Absolutely stunning.
It is wonderful. I like it too. Oddly enough, your Walking Liberty round, it flips from side to side rather than top to bottom.
That's right.
That's
called a metal turn.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, metals are flipped this way, and coins, at least in the United States, coins flip that way, which means this is upside down. Let me see if I have a coin here I can show you. Now, other coins from other nations, it's the other way around. But here's a silver eagle. Yeah, this is a coin, and so when I flip this way, it is upside down. But when I flip it this way, it is right side up. That's called a coin turn.
There you go. The more you know.
Yes, indeed.
Now, you mentioned, why would you stack fractional modern coins, or modern bullion, rather, not even coins, modern bullion, versus maybe like junk silver, constitutional silver? Why would you do that?
It's a cardinal rule of stacking not to buy these fractional pieces because of the insane premiums. Yay, though, there are exceptions to every rule. And there's two of them. Number one, if it's a really cool piece that you like for your collection that has a higher premium, you just like it, and then it's worth paying that premium. But the second rule is the reason why I bought this piece, although I do like the design. It's a very nice rendition of the Walking Liberty $50, I must say, for Money Metals Exchange. But I got it for a regular spot price, price above spot. So, and I forget exactly what I paid for it. It was something like, it was basically not much more than a silver $50, really.
Right. I've gone into shops, not so recently, but in the past, and same thing. I go in there and I say, hey, I'm looking for, silver rounds. And they'll be like, oh, here's, my silver rounds. I also have, maybe this stuff over here, and it'll be fractional, modern bullion, maybe like 10th ounce pieces, or quarter ounce pieces. And I'll be like, kind of like worrying a little bit, like, what is the price on those ones? Oh, they're all the same price. Well, absolutely. Then that right there has a major advantage over, like, even to me, 1 ounce rounds.
Yes.
So that's some of the stuff I hold the most dear. I will not sell that stuff in my stack. The fractional modern bullion pieces, the 999 fines, that stuff will not be sold. I just hold on to that because it's ideal, I think, in my opinion. It's wonderful.
It sure is. Exactly right. And that's probably where you're going to find the best deals, is at your local coin shop. Because if you go to APMEX or JM Bullion or any of those places, you're going to pay through the roof for those things.
And the problem is, like, let's use a 10th ounce piece of silver, for example. So yes, they do make 10th ounce pieces of, 999 fine silver, and they'll charge $6 or $7 for one of them. So now if you buy 10 of them, which equals 1 ounce of silver, you're paying $60 to $70, where you could have paid, $23, $24 after the premium for 1 ounce of silver. That's the problem.
Here's an example of one. And you pretty much nailed it, the price that I paid per ounce for these.
What was the price? Right at $5, $6, $7?
$65, and there's 6, and I think there's shoot, I don't know how many are in here, but I guess there's actually, you know what? Silver was cheaper. I think it was like $65 or $69, and was 16 in this tube.
You want to see a crazy price? Go look at the price of like modern Libertads that are 10th ounce.
Oh yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, well, I bought from a local coin shop in Tennessee, of all places, and this is kind of when I first, a couple of years after I started this channel, I went over there, was taking a road trip, and the lady had some of this stuff, and in there was a 2014 20th ounce silver Libertad. And she said, I'm sorry, I have to pay these smaller things. There's a little bit more of a premium, but she gave it to me for like $1 or something. And I think it's like worth a whole lot more than that now, but, or even then I knew I got a good deal. I'll put it to you that way, but yes, indeed. Crazy. But the thing is that these things, I bought these things from, and there's a toned one from, I think Provident Metals or JM Bullion. And I just got it because I like it. I knew, in fact, I did a video on it. I said, this is a lesson, do not buy silver this way,
Yeah. Is my video right side up or is it wrong side up?
No, I gotta turn it.
You gotta turn it. Hold on.
There you go. Now it's right side up. Yeah, let's see what you got there.
I think I have some small pieces in here, but I'm not sure. I'm looking.
Nice.
No, it wouldn't be in there. These are my secret stashes, so nobody pretend like you didn't see these, okay?
Okay, I didn't see that. I closed my eyes.
Close my eyes. I can't sing. All right.
Forever. You'll do some Ozzy and Lita there, right?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I thought I had some little 10th ounce Libertads, and they weren't Libertads that I bought for an insane price. They were ones that I found, at the shop, and because I won't pay those extreme premiums on them. I just can't do it.
Right.
I got some pretty Libertads, though.
Oh, you do have. Those are nice. Nicely toned, old school.
Again, that's top secret.
Nice.
Sal, question for you. I don't really know this to be your thing, but we're going to find out right now. This thing right here, this thing I'm showing you, this stuff right here. You might be like, oh, is he talking about, gold? No, I'm talking about the stuff around it. Are you a fan of the plastic?
Yes, I'm finding myself getting more capsules especially for my gold. But as you can see in my display, all of these are in capsules too, including this small piece, which actually was sold to me in that regard. So I am a fan of capsules for the ones that I want to protect. However, there are some coins that I just like to fondle, and so you just kind of like to play around with. I have a platinum maple I like to screw around with. So yeah, as long as I have other versions that I can just kind of manhandle or handmandle, then I'm all about it. But yes, for the stuff I want to protect, indeed, I am definitely a fan of the capsules. I guess you are too, hence why you've got these things encapsulated.
Oh, I'm a capsule fanatic. I'm happy about it. I wonder sometimes if I could put all my poured silver pieces in capsules, I would do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Great.
Yeah.
I got those too. I got like this piece right here. I love just having it at the desk, and I just every now and then, like I'm on the computer doing work, I just grab it and kind of like just rub my fingers on it. I don't know what it
There you
is.
go.
I like touching it.
You can go ahead and say it's spectacular. You caress it.
Yeah, I caress it. I
There
love
you
it. Lick it because people say that silver has a weird taste, and I'm like I try to prove them wrong by licking it. But then
There you go.
so many times now that I taste my own bad breath on it. So
Now that's got your stamp on it. That's got your stamp of approval on there. That's nice.
yeah, this is one of the pieces that I made.
Yeah,
This
that's personal. That's that's something you made. It's your own creation. And you know what? I have a piece similar. I think I've showed it on there before on your thing, but I have it here handy here. Let me find it. Yeah, there it is. What it said: when you are out of ammo, throw this. I love it. That's great. Oh, that is awesome. Is that 10 ounces?
This is actually kind of an odd thing. This is 16 ounces.
Okay, nice. Wow.
That was just what I had at the time. Pour it in and let's make something.
And see, I'm not as much of a silver pour. I did it for a while. I have a playlist called Melting Metals. I didn't sell any of it, but this is the first piece of silver I ever poured.
Let me see what you got here.
And
yeah, you've seen that one before, right?
Yeah, I had it on. I've had it on here before too. And I think we've even talked about it before. But that is my very first piece of poured silver. It's something I'll keep and I'll fondle every once in a while. But going back to your capsules thing, the good thing about those 10th ounce pieces and having them in capsules is it does make them harder to lose because it increases the diameter and it provides a nice view of the coin. You can handle it without actually touching it, but it also makes it easier to handle and store without losing it, or less likely.
My favorite part about them, and I'm totally guilty of this, I pretty much do this every single time I handle a coin, is I do this. I drop the thing all the time.
Yep. I've done that too. I have a crack in a capsule I need to get replaced from a gold eagle that I had. And those cracks start and they don't let up. And here's another example of one within a capsule that has done that over the years. I'm very careful, but that's about done.
All of my America the Beautiful coins that I bought, I barely even, like, if I set something on top of them, if I accidentally just drop them a little bit, or sometimes I just handle them too much, cracks. Those capsules crack like crazy for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they have a large surface area. Are you talking about the 5 ounce?
Yep.
Yeah. They have a large surface area because they're 3 inches. And so it's much easier for them to crack like that. Yeah.
What she said. Hey, your opinion now. Are you a fan of these right here?
Oh, yes, I am. I only have 1 or 2, and they're not JM. They're extruded Engelhard bars, but they are nice. And that is a beautiful example you're showing there. That is amazing. Johnson Mathey.
So 100-ounce bars, you have no problem with those?
No problem. The thing is I don't stack. I would not advise people to stack exclusively or a whole bunch of those. Like I've got 2. I probably won't get any more unless I get a really good deal on them. But I just bought 4 kilos in the last month or so. And those are my first kilos. In fact, I did yesterday's. As of the recording of this interview, it was yesterday's video. It's called "I Just Bought 2 More Kilos of Silver," and I explain why and how. And I even talk about the difference between a kilo and 100 ouncer in terms of the price point difference between the two. So kilo is probably going to be my largest that I would buy at this point, at least on a regular basis, in other words. But what are your thoughts on the 100 ounce? Do you have many of them?
I have a few. But yeah, I like them. I like them plenty. I think that's the cheapest way to go, oftentimes in my experience, when you're buying silver, if you can buy a lot. It's kind of the same concept, kind of if you're able to buy an ounce of gold, maybe buy an ounce rather than a 10th ounce.
Yes.
Or 10 ounces, just because it's just cheaper on you. And I kind of the same concept. If you're going to have the money for a large bar, just get the large bar. It'd be cheaper overall. But there's definitely some advantages, kind of like how we were talking about the fractional stuff, to just getting 1 ounce pieces only. Or, it's ideal for like a prepper life, when you have the small pieces, because, if there's a situation where you have like, several of these and you got to get out or get away as soon as possible, these become very heavy. I mean, this is a heavy thing. I think they're what, about 7 pounds?
Right. Yes, exactly.
In a tight little space like that, you don't realize how heavy they are until you pick up a 100-ounce bar and you're like, gee whiz.
Right. It sure is. It is very heavy, and that is the problem. If you need to get out quickly, bug out, if you have you can grab 10 ounces of gold quickly and get out and have a lot of value there. But if you need to grab all that silver, it makes it more difficult for sure.
Right, so
but it is not, and it
like,
is a lot of value in a small space, because if compared to that to 100 ounces of rounds, you're much better having that in that regard for sure. And that's kind of where I draw the line though with kilo, as far as if I was to stack multiple large bars, the premium difference between the kilos and the 100-ounce bars, at least I found, have not been that different. There are a little bit, you could save a little bit buying the 100 ounces, but at least from my research, I've not seen that so drastic difference between the premiums.
No, it's very close. My only issue at all with kilos, and I think I have 1 kilo piece, is it's just an odd weight.
Yeah, that's true.
It's 30 ounces on the dot or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. And that is one thing, you got to know it's 32.15 ounces. But my feeling is it's one of those things where when you go buy a liter of Coke, that's a common measurement for that Coke bottle. Or was it 2 liter or 1 liter? Whatever but it's measured by liter. But we get our gasoline and our milk in gallons. And most of our silver we buy in ounces, except for the 100-gram bars or the 1 kilo or, bars. And so in other words, it's, even though it's an odd weight compared to the ounces, it's a recognizable weight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's funny you said that we buy our gas in gallons. I think pretty soon we're going to be buying our gas in IOUs. But check
oh, that's right.
I'm going to. This is a 100-ounce bar, and it takes a little time to put it onto the screen. So just give me a little bit here. It reminds me of like that scene from Star Wars.
Yes.
Where the Super Star Destroyer is going across the screen there. Have you seen this thing?
Yes, not in person though. This is wow, amazing. Wow. I'm gonna throw one out for you. That thing is long.
That's what she said.
Boom. Thank you. Yes.
She never said that, to be honest. All
right. But that's amazing.
Isn't that ridiculous?
That is. Now, I can imagine stacking a bunch of those up. That would be so cool. And that is a stacker friendly piece, I mean, you could literally build a cabin out of those, square.
Yeah. I mean, not typical stacker to where like it fits inside of like, like some kind of groove, but it would stack easily. And, and that's just it. It's a different enough size like those. It reminds me not of the shape or style because it looks like an extruded bar, but Scottsdale put out those 20-ounce longer cast pieces a few years ago. I don't know if they still make them or not. But they're nice little Kit Kat bars, 20-ounce Kit Kat bars that were kind of nice. Yeah, man, it's one of those things where sometimes when you stack, you're as a stacker, I mean, ideally you just want to go for as cheap as possible probably and just just stack it and don't even look at it. But sometimes for me, like as a stacker, I gotta have fun stuff, different stuff, things that I gotta have that. That's so neat,
Most definitely. Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. Scottsdale is known for coming out with some unique, different kind of products, like their tombstones and those Kit Kats I told you about, those tombstone bars. I don't have any of those, but those are kind of neat. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, I love them. I actually have a 5-ouncer. I always wanted the kilo, but I just never got it.
Yeah.
One day when I get, some money together, it's tough out there right now. I got to really watch my P's and Q's.
Yeah, I hear you. Yes, indeed.
All right, Sal. Now listen, this is a challenge right now. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire questions, Sal. And the goal is for you just to go ahead and shout out the first thought that comes to your head, right? The first answer. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. I'm ready.
When you're ready.
I'm ready. Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Favorite classic U.S. coin?
The St. Gaudens double eagle.
Favorite modern U.S. coin?
Oh, the 2012 2012 crap. It's just the Fort McHenry Star Spangled Banner obverse.
Okay, that was a tough. That's all right. All right.
I just couldn't get. I knew what it was in my mind and couldn't get the words out. No, sorry. The pressure is on.
Platinum or palladium?
Platinum.
Ooh, this is a good one. Philharmonics or Krugerrand?
Philharmonics.
Standing Liberty or Walking Liberty?
Walking Liberty.
50 AE or 50 BMG?
50 BMG.
NGC or PCGS?
PCGS.
Whitman or Dansko?
Whitman.
Okay, there you go.
Now, that last one, I know I hesitated on because that was a tough one between the Standing Liberty and Walking Liberty. I did hesitate. I apologize. But the last one, the Whitman and the Dansko, I don't really have. Whitman is just a broader company. They make a lot of different things. And the Dansko is known for their albums. And I don't have a single Dansko album.
Whitman is still around to my knowledge, right?
Yes.
I don't think they've gone away yet. Dansko is doing something weird. I'm not sure what they're all about right now. But to me personally, I would have chose Dansko, and it's all a preference. But to me, Dansko just has such a beautiful look to it. I mean, I know you can't really tell too well with the size I got the camera here, but I love my Danskos.
Yeah.
But they're not really making them anymore. You got to find ones that have just kind of been hanging out at the shops and stuff that nobody else wanted.
So the green one is a Whitman album then?
Yeah, well, it's like a blue, but
okay.
Color doesn't matter here.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Because they also make the Red Book.
The Whitman Red, yep, they also are part of that. You're right. So they got kind of more things going on right now. Dansko's kind of just died out. There's always been rumors that they're going to come back. They're still, doing things, but it doesn't seem like it's happening.
Right.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
What else did you say? You said NGC or PCGS. What'd you choose?
PCGS.
And why'd you choose them? I'm just curious.
They tend to be a bit more conservative in their grading. Now, obviously, you still see mistakes and things, but the population reports for higher graded coins for PCGS are smaller than NGC.
Yeah, to me, that's a really tough question because they've really almost equaled themselves out as top of the line. So,
right.
They're the other companies that are, talked about, they're so far underneath those two, I think, that, man, NGC and PCGS is very comparable. But I think that PCGS is still considered to be like the big dog.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. And I know that some people say that for the older coins that it really doesn't matter at all between the two. And that very well could be the case. I don't really get into a lot of graded coins in general. I will buy them if it's for the same price as it would be for a non-graded coin. If anything, for the certification and protection. But regardless, I typically, if I was to choose, I would definitely go PCGS. It just is considered a bit more, especially for the modern stuff.
Yeah. Now, also, this was probably the hardest question for me is when I said Philharmonics or Krugerrand. To me, both of those coins are just lackluster. I don't like to collect them. I do have a couple Krugerrands. I know I have a gold one here. It's just not my favorite thing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you have Philharmonics. My problem is it actually says Wiener right there on the
I know.
coin.
Yeah. And there's an Anthony micro engraving in there somewhere.
It's funny because I talked to somebody from Austria, and they explained to me what that wiener actually meant, but it didn't matter to me. I see wiener as an American.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I know exactly. Well, and the thing is I'm, I don't really collect. I have some of these. I got this literally just today, actually. I got it for a reason, and I'll explain it when another coin comes in. But I typically don't really collect these either. They do tend to spot. This one doesn't have spotting, but when they first came out with these in 2008, I was at the Baltimore Coin Show, and they were and they had them there, and it just was neat because it's a smaller diameter, it has a smooth edge. This is 37 millimeter, which is a little bit smaller than your typical coins. And they pulled off this nice, clean, even though there's a lot going on here. This is actually not a building, by the way. This is an organ. So they weren't afraid to let the silver shine with the design. There's no other finishes on this coin. It's just one finish. And the fact that the theme is music, I kind of like that, but I'm with you about the wiener. And a lot of people don't like these coins. I certainly understand that. It is an acquired taste. They're not very popular here in America, and I don't really know how popular they are in Europe. But all of their bullion coins for the Philharmonic have the same diameter: platinum, gold, or silver, all 37 millimeter.
Very interesting. Now, you asked something about how they're not very popular here in America. I can't remember where this person was from, but they took a trip over to Europe, I believe, somewhere over in Europe. And they said that the American Eagles over there sell for spot.
Really?
That's
wow.
And I found that to be very interesting.
That is interesting.
So I just wonder how that all works, how true that is. I mean, everything on the internet that you hear, believe it or not, is not always the truth, but
that's right. Oh, that's breaking news.
Maybe some people watching right now would be able to, comment down below and let us know if they know anything different than that.
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section. We want to know.
When it comes to the Krugerrand, now the gold Krugerrand, is that still like the most popular gold coin in existence?
I don't know. It's been around the longest, since 1967. But I think the Eagles are. I think the American Gold Eagles and the American Silver Eagles are the most popular bullion coins. From what I understand, now I could be wrong, it would not surprise me if the Krugerrands were a close second. But I could be wrong. The Krugerrands may be the most popular worldwide. But you think about how many people buy bullion coins. Hands down, the American Silver Eagle is the most popular bullion coin in the world. And it's crazy to think about that, but especially in the West. But the thing is, the silver is really more of a Western thing. Gold is more of a Middle Eastern and Eastern thing. So, right. But the thing is that those countries, I don't know, India and China, do they get Krugerrands there? They mint their own coins, so I don't know.
That's just what I've always heard. I think that the internet, again, is that all true? The internet had claimed that at the time that Krugerrand was the most popular gold coin, but times have changed, and that could very well go into the Eagles' favor right now. Who knows really what the numbers are right now, but maybe soon we'll figure that out for sure.
Yeah, there's probably for the Krugerrands that are minted every year. And if we can find, I know the U.S. Mint posts sales figures for their bullion coins. I don't know if the South African Mint does, but that would be an exercise and to see exactly of research to see exactly what those numbers are. And by the way, it's not just per year. You have to add up all the years, to see which is more popular, how many coins are out there in general, because it may shift year to year, where the Krugerrands may get more one year and the Eagles the next year, but who knows?
Who really knows, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to tools of the trade, things that like you rely on as a coin collector, even, a bullion collector, what do you got there? Like, what kind of things are you talking about? Like, is a scale important to you? Is that kind of something you like to get into?
Yeah. I have a scale, the pocket pinger, and the CCP. Yeah, magnifying glass. Yep, or a loop. Actually, I do have one of those nearby. Sometimes I get a little loopy, you know. But yeah,
What other kind of things do you end up getting involved in?
I like the CCT silver slide.
Ooh, those are good.
And one of the things about these that I like is because they have a set angle. Of course, you really can't. Let me see if I can. It has a set angle, so it always sits at a specific angle, so you can test different silver products, and that will slide down at a certain. Of course, that's going to be. Let me get a silver quarter. It's lighter.
Everybody's on a different level. So what are we looking for when it comes to the slide?
You're looking for, yes, that's right. You're looking for a very slow movement and the for silver. For clad coins, there's actually, I'm sorry, that's a clad coin, and it's got the copper, which has it's something called the eddy. It's diamagnetic and the eddy current there. But if you use a something that's steel or something like that, it's just going to stick. And I'm trying to think if I can find something here that maybe a cent, a penny will be able to. Well, that's strange. That's going down slow too. But new neodymium magnets. And there, by the way, if you have two of these slides, if you were to put both of them together, a clad quarter and a silver quarter down, they would go at a different rate. And this is actually would be a good example of that, because if you time it from the time you drop it from the top to the bottom, see how slow that one is. Even though this one's going to be slow too, it's a little bit faster. You see that?
Exactly.
And so that's why having a specific angle is really helps, and that's one of the biggest draws to the CCT slide. Plus, it's handcrafted and by a member of this community, Cyber Curtain Twitcher. So I really like these silver slides.
Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I found out how interesting it was that like a copper round and a silver round will practically go at the very same speed. So I don't want to give anybody ideas out there, but if you were to silver plate a copper round, at least as far as the magnet test goes, it should pass it no problem. Kind of scary.
Yeah, and there is a slight, like I said, if like what I did, because this quarter is 75% copper. So there's enough there, and but there is a difference. Now, the other way that you can do it is a non-destructive test called specific gravity test, and that's where you basically find that the specific gravity. Silver has a very unique specific gravity, and I haven't done it in a while. I actually had posted a video on it, and I may do an update video to that video, but it's you basically suspend it in water, and you can use a scale to measure the specific gravity of it compared to any other metal. So your silver plated copper piece would not pass that test because it has a different specific gravity than the silver, which is very unique, or is unique. Very unique is something I should not be saying. It's redundant. Sorry.
Yeah, it's basically a math equation that you end up calculating when you come to specific gravity. I just don't personally like doing the test for, it's just a real pain. It's a real pain to make sure that string is perfectly around your piece, so it's not going to fall off. And yeah, it's not the easiest thing. And then you got to go on to the next piece. You got to, if you're doing like 10, 15 pieces, you're there for a while.
And so that means that moves us to the next thing, which is this definitely the easiest way to test it, but not the cheapest way to test it, is to get yourself one of these, a Sigma Metallics precious metals verifier. Because this thing you just turn on and you just put it on. That's what she said. Let's see if I can do this. And so we go and we just select what metal we want. We're going to go to, let's see, here we go, silver. And we just put the pieces on, even with the capsule. Even with the, let me see here, there it is. Kind of hard to see, it's kind of bright, but you can see that this falls in line there.
I see that.
All right, so there's that. And then
you would have line here.
Oh, you got yours too. Yeah, yours is probably a better view. Good. All right.
Well, there's an issue here with mine, and I want to explain to people what happens here because we talked about being able to do it through the capsule, but these are 10th ounce pieces. This capsule, actually, when you consider a 10th ounce piece and the size of it, the capsule is actually probably thicker overall than that 10th ounce piece. And so a normal size 1 ounce coin or round should be able to penetrate with that capsule because the coin itself has much more space in the capsule. But when you come to something small like this, you got to have the attachments. Do you have the attachments with yours?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that is a good thing. Yep. You
There's
definitely
a
want
little
to
wand
utilize the
attachment.
attachment for smaller pieces called a
You would
wand.
take plastic and you would actually directly touch the wand to the coin, and you would be able to identify it, no problem.
Right.
Fun stuff. Any other
Oh
tools?
yeah. Very fun stuff. Great stuff. And then with the precious metals verifier, it's not completely foolproof. I think you have to if you calibrate it once in a while, but it does a good job. And it's but it's always good to have a plethora of tools. If you want to get really expensive, or really down and dirty with it, or like radioactive dirty, that is, and very expensive, you can spend 14 grand on an XRF analyzer, I think is what they're called.
Yeah. Those, again, just like the Sigma, being an expensive machine, they're not perfect either. They still have, they can't dig very deep down into the metal that you're testing. It's just like pretty much on the surface. So it's really good, like you kind of mentioned, that you have a multitude of test methods because, not one test is going to be able to solve every situation.
And not only that, but I think probably the best way to test to really know your precious metals is to look at them. If you know what you're looking for, look at the intricacies of the design compared to a fake like this coin. I've seen fakes of this coin, and they just don't match the original. The sharp lines and like what you're holding there, the Royal Canadian Mint maple leafs. Even the 10th ounce size has those radial lines that has that nice cartwheel effect. That's very difficult to duplicate. In fact, I've not seen anybody do it as well as Royal Canadian Mint. And they also have privy marks as well too. And they have something called this bullion DNA technology that you can utilize too. In fact, for the larger pieces, they have that privy mark on them, which is very nice. But yeah, that cartwheel effect on the radial lines for this is just wonderful. There's security features on silver, on some silver coins like the Britannias, the maple leafs, and some other pieces. But even just the design itself, it's really once you really get to know the design, you can just tell by looking whether something's genuine or not. Beautiful Britannia you have there, 10th ounce, complete with the lenticular device with the trident and the padlock there.
It's amazing how much better. I'm just noticing this, like how much better, like every other mint is besides the United States Mint.
Oh, yeah. All we have is a missing reed. That's all we have.
And we did not do that on the 10th ounce. Am I wrong?
We did not do that on the gold half ounce, quarter ounce, or 10th ounce. That's right. Just on the 1 ounce.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's absolutely disappointing. I was so excited because David J. Ryder, who was a mint director who quote championed this stuff, was talking about three levels of security. One over, which was going to be something recognizable, and I was thinking something like these Britannias and maple leafs, at least something like that, maybe even something better. And then 2 levels of covert detection. One of them through authorized dealers and the like throughout the United States would have something like bullion DNA technology that the Royal Canadian Mint has, and then a level of covert security that only the Secret Service agents had access to. Now, they very well could still have some of that, and we just don't know about it, at least that 3rd level, but there is no other way. And it's a meaningless point because a missing reed or anything else that's on there that we can't see, that we can't with the naked eye, it doesn't matter because it's going to pass. There's already fakes for the new Eagles out there already. And so it's a complete and abject failure.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I can understand not knowing about the one that the Secret Service is aware of, but there needs to be more things that we can see, because now we're buying them. It doesn't do us much good if we are buying them and then later we find out that they're fake. You know,
Right.
if we need to find out
Exactly.
and stop ourselves from making that purchase.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Anyways, there goes my, make sure that I'm careful, because I just dropped coins. I literally just dropped that coin, but luckily it was in the plastic, which goes back to my previous point of how good that plastic is for me.
Right. Exactly. Now, do you like the new design on the Eagles, on the gold Eagles, the head?
No, but I didn't necessarily like the old design either. So
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. And I'm like torn between the two, because I didn't like the old design, and I'm not the biggest fan of the new design, because it's like that's the head side of the coin. You know what I
right.
mean? And it just, and it's one of those things that doesn't match the obverse.
That's a good point, Al. Somebody flips that coin and they call heads. Who actually wins?
Yeah.
It's one to fight.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, listen, it's a crazy time in the world right now, Sal. Let's you and I not get into a fight and just agree to disagree. Let's agree to, just still do the metals experience. Maybe we can do another one soon. What do you think?
I would love to. It'd be a huge honor.
It's an honor for me too, man. Listen, everybody, you got to go check out Salivate Metals channel on YouTube. Again, I'll put a link down in the description of the video to make sure you can just go there, just click something and go check him out. I'm sure most of you already are members of his channel, but in the event that you're not, he's got a lot of good stuff on coins, precious metals, and again, a really fun little live that he does. How many days a week are you doing that live?
3 days a week, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern for the market watch when the metals market open up in Hong Kong. Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern as well. And basically, I interact with the chat side, but also interact with the comment section. I respond to comments there, take spam phone calls once in a while, fiddle around with the guitar, do some push-ups, have a little bit of fun. And it's always an honor to have you there too, Speg. And I appreciate all of your support, and I appreciate you. And of course, I wish I could shout out your channel on your own channel, but for those of you who do come here to watch Spegtacular, you have come to the right place. He's got an amazing channel, and I'm so proud of him for the growth of this channel and how he represents the precious metals community. And so you've come to the right place. I encourage you to stay here. And if you've not subscribed, to be subscribed to Spegtacular. And also, I know one thing that happens on my channel, I don't think it happens on your channel as much, but I'm sure it does to some degree, is a lot of times people don't get notified of videos or don't know. They'll say, well Sal or Speg, did you post a video? I haven't seen a video from you in a while. We have. We're still here. We're still working, but people aren't getting notifications, or they're getting kicked off from being subscribed. So always encourage folks to bookmark the channel page. So if you find Spegtacular's channel page and bookmark it and come back to it as a back end, so that in case the notifications don't work or you don't see a video in a subscription feed. So if you want to hear what Speg has to say, that's the best way to circumvent the notification squad, so that you can be you'll know just by checking this page every day.
Before we go, I'll also mention something that I learned somewhat recently. I went to a coin show and I participated as a dealer. And as I was sitting there, people from the community came up and, oh, Spegtacular. We got to put a face with a name, and they really enjoyed, just talking to me in person. Trust me, I enjoyed it too. That was great. That was a lot of fun. I think I ended up just talking way more than I sold anything, just because it was interesting to talk to the community face to face. But a lot of them told me that they are just watching me on their TV, on their big screen. And so it's hard for them to subscribe and hit the bell and comment.
Oh, yes. I've gotten that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I would encourage those people to, if they can, take a little time, maybe go on your smartphone and at least subscribe or hit that bell, so that you can get to see more of the videos. Because I get a comment almost daily now where somebody's like, I don't know how I missed this video. It's an old video, like months and months ago. But there's a lot of cool stuff out there on both of our channels. And, we encourage you to to make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell and, you participate. People that are watching probably are much more wise when it comes to stacking precious metals and collecting coins than many people, than coin dealers themselves and precious metals dealers. So there's so much knowledge out there in the community that could really benefit people that are trying to learn. And all it takes is a little comment down below to help somebody out. Be positive.
Yes, it does, definitely. And Spegtacular and I both really appreciate those who engage with the videos and watch. It's what keeps us going. This is a community, and I think it's a unique community in YouTube. I mean, there's other communities within YouTube and other social media platforms, but this is something that's evolved over time, and we really do feed off of what you guys bring to the comment section and to the table. And I've learned so much just from even not only from videos like yours, Spegtacular, and others in the community, but from the comment section. Yep. From people who share their thoughts and their feelings, and whether it be criticism or encouragement, it's all good.
Right on, Sal. I greatly appreciate you. Before I leave you, I'm going to leave you with one of my new favorite things right here. It's not coin related, not precious metals. In fact, there are no coins in this at all. Look at this thing.
Oh, yes. For those of you who have not seen Spegtacular's video on his megalodons, that's right. That's right. That's massive. And he does a whole video showing his collection of those. And look at the size of that. That's one of his bigger pieces. That's amazing. Wow. That is history in your hand right there.
Imagine getting bit.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Getting bit by that thing.
Yeah, getting bit by that, you'd be history. That's for sure if you got bit by that thing. Look at that. That is amazing compared to that 100-ounce silver bar. Wow. But yes, you did a video on that, and that was so intriguing. And that's just it. That's another thing too is, I have other interests as well too. Most people know my other interests, but this is one that Spegtacular has. He also did a video of his 50 BMG, and Browning. There's a Browning automatic rifle, right?
Yeah, Browning machine gun. Yep, BMG.
Yeah. Yep, and it is just.
I was going to bring that out for you today, Sal, but at the last minute I canceled.
Yeah, no, that's cool. We can always talk about that next time. But yeah, that's awesome, man. And so this is neat, and that just goes to show you that hey, you could be surprised. You can find something else very spectacular there on Spegtacular's channel, the Silver Stacular. Amazing.
Right. Again, make sure you're all checking out Salabay Metal, his channel on YouTube. Link down in the description. Sal, it's been a pleasure. I won't take any of your more time. I won't take any more of your time this time. Misspoke. But next time I would like to take more of your time if it's possible. So hopefully we get an episode 6 in there next time.
Yes, indeed. It would be an honor. And thank you so much. A multitude of gratitude to you, Spegtacular, and to everybody else for taking the time to watch.
Right on. Hit us with a really good outro, Sal. It's up to you. Your decision. Your choice. You go ahead. Outro.
Keep your feet on the stars and keep reaching for the megalodons.
Right on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you. Subscribe to both channels and make sure you're liking it, you're commenting, you're hitting the bell icon, and you're participating in every way, and you're stacking, and you're collecting, and you're being safe out there, and you're watching your P's and Q's. It's a crazy time right now in the world. I tell you what, it is nuts out there.